what is in the cup today?
I am drinking some raspberry
Sorry, I absolutely forgot how to spell raspberry for a second. What was the rest of that?
Royal. Welcome to the Northerners Podcast. We're two friends in fibre who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. My name is Jocelyn. My co-host is
Diana.
I'm told it's episode 280, and I always believe Diana.
It's maybe a mistake. I'm sure I've gotten it wrong before.
She does the show notes, guys. She's in charge of these things. We don't
Doesn't mean I
leave
get it
me
right.
counting. We don't leave me counting. That would be bad. I have no natural segue into anything. So hey, while you let us know what we're going to cover this week, I'm going to drink some tea.
We've got what's in our cup, woolly workings, including it sounds like some fiber flubs, and we got some wool gathering.
You have a fiber flub. I have stories.
Okay, you have stories. I have stories, flubs. I'm not really sure which.
Something and the some such. We're recording Sunday evening, which means
It means loops and rambles
anything can happen.
and absolute lack of caffeination.
That sounds like a personal problem I'm not suffering from. Why? Because I had no caffeine. I'm not really allowed to have caffeine, period. It's just normal for me not to.
Well, we didn't record earlier in the day. I usually have caffeine for these, just because that's part of the routine. But it's evening and it's dark and it's warm in here, and I'm like, fiber, warm, cozy, sleep.
Okay, I'm gonna start keeping track of every time you correlate everything to sleep. So far, we've gotten cold days, don't get out of bed, sleep. Rainy days, sit by window, sleep. Warm days,
yes.
cozy sleep. Is there an ideal day temperature sort of situation where your first thought
if it's
is
too hot, then you gotta go have a nap in the hammock, and then like everything is just a good day for a nap.
Okay. Just checking. I was outside in 30 plus degrees.
Except for those sunny, crisp fall days, those are good days for walks.
Sunny, crisp fall day are not words that should go together to describe a day.
Well, like it's cool and like blustery, but it's like sunny, so like all the colors on the trees are like really bright. So like it's sunny, but it's crisp and cool and fall.
Uh-huh. Except you'd put on a sweater, you'd get warm, and then you'd take a nap.
After the walk, yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
But walk first.
Just checking. All right. I have a pot of tea. I have some raspberry royal tea, which is from Big Low. It's a big brand name. You can find it in hotels here in Canada, and you can find it in the States. Been terribly fancy. I ordered it, and I didn't even technically order it. I went in with a friend and we ordered it because she lives in the States and she shipped it to me, and it was still cheaper to do it that way.
Oh yeah,
totally. All right, I have approximately 2 metric tons of projects, and you have tea to talk about.
Just very briefly, immunity blend from All Things Tea may contain chamomile, which may be contributing to sleepiness. There's another thing there: tea, sleepiness. I've had
Why
tea.
are you drinking chamomile right now?
Because it's the only thing I had that didn't have caffeine.
You have
I don't want to be drinking caffeine at 8 o'clock at night.
You've had weeks to fix this problem, ma'am.
Well, I tried to go to the tea store today, but they're closed on Sundays.
A lot of small companies are closed on Sundays. You've ever met a Toba? Most stuff is closed on Sundays.
Well, I got accustomed to living in a place where a lot of things are not closed on Sundays.
I don't know, you guys. She leaves us for less than 3 years and she forgets everything. Everything. Yep. All right. Well, I don't live
there anymore.
6 projects to your 4.
Yeah.
So I will kick this show off on the road. Because of course I will. So, where did I put the finished one?
Well, it's tradition.
It's weird when I don't start.
It is.
Is it over here?
Oh no, don't drop the stitch. Don't drop that stitch. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. We're good. It's all good. I did not drop the stitch. Or, well, I did, but I fixed it.
You did, but I fixed it. That's fine. Guys, I'm working on the balloon cardigan. Oh, it's over here. Oh my god. And last week I was working on my first sleeve. Well, here's the balloon sleeve section of the cardigan. All done.
Okay.
So this attaches to the drop shoulder on this end. This arm here that I'm waggling about.
Mm-hmm.
And this little slightly cuffed down side attaches to a massive cuff. I've got parts for this thing everywhere. A massive cuff link.
Oh, that's quite long. Okay.
It's a long cuff. So
Okay, that's quite big.
even if I have it up right up to like where my thumb separates from my hand, I'm still going well past my wrist before I'm out of cuff.
Cool.
Like it's
cool.
a long ribbed cuff. So your balloon sleeve part isn't actually that long. We're still in pieces for two reasons. One, I'm not done the second sleeve. Two, I want to over dye this yarn before I assemble the cardigan so that I have an easier time of the dyeing process. I'm leaving them in their pieces so I can get more movement around. And because I'm using 2 strands of yarn held double, I'm probably going to end up using 2 dye baths to get everything, like 2 of the right dyes to get everything. So I want to have everything to have space to move. So I'll probably also use like 2 dye pods. So that way everything dyes evenly. And I'm making my life easier this way by doing it. And then I'm going to sew it together because sewing it together is actually not that hard. I also have my fan on, so I'm blowing air in my face, which is causing my allergies to go nuts. But here we go. The sleeve, which is the interesting part. And I know because this is cotton that I'm working in, that once I wash and block this bad boy, it is going to grow like crazy because cotton has no shape and holds no shape. So the drape on this is going to be quite dramatic. I did, however, end up deciding on Thursday, even though I was 4 rows away from completing this first sleeve, that I had to rip it and restart it on a larger hook because the fabric was too dense. I needed to go up for a lighter weight because cotton is really heavy. Like cotton is not a summer thing. We all need to stop thinking inaccurately about this. So here we go. It'll be a wonderful fall weight cardigan, which is the plan. So now I get to finish the second sleeve, which is good. Thankfully, because I'm very slowly actually running out of yarn, which is what I wanted to be doing with this cotton yarn. I'm using cotton cake yarn. I'm holding it double, and I'm trying to get through as much of it as possible. The thought was I'd be done, because once this is done and not sewn together, but off the hook, I'm counting it as a stash dash. Simply because I'm literally not sewing it together till after it's dyed. Oh, I need to go. So, we're going to put a pause in. My second sleeve is in progress. I'm not doing too bad. I got a good chunk of sleeve going on here. Actually, I can fold up the first sleeve for comparison. Awkward. So there you go. I got a good
that's
chunk.
really close.
Yeah, like I'm pretty close to finishing my second sleeve. Why? Because second sleeves just go faster for me. I don't know, but they always have. So I'm quietly working on this while we podcast. So once this is done, and I mean, technically won't be done while we're podcasting because I'm going to want to actually use a measuring tape and make sure it's the right length before I finish it. And I might have to go find more yarn because this is all I have left of one of the strands I'm holding on to. So I'm only working on it until I run out, and then we're going to work on something else. But that is my first project. And why isn't it done? Because, well, quite frankly, I was staring off into space today. I have to go again, don't I? What to do?
Probably.
So the other thing I was going to have done was going to be my campfire cardi. And if you guys follow us on Instagram, you'll know that I posted a picture. It was ready to go to the wash. And I know how to put on clothes, so this is not even going to be remotely awkward at all. With the sleeves on the wrong side of the cardigan.
That's very much on the wrong side, yes.
Cool beans. So I washed it and I blocked it. Was I aggressive? No. Granny squares block out really big. I know they block out really big. They've always blocked out really big. No problem, right? So I literally did this. I have an over the door drying rack for when I hang dry things because I have some hand wash clothes. Mostly personal garments, but some of my other stuff that I've put together over the years are hand washes. So I hang them or lay them flat to dry. And because I live in a very small apartment, and my foot space, like my foot allotted space, is very small. So my hanging rack hangs over my door. I have several doors. So I literally washed it and then hung it up on two hangers on the door rack. And then I draped the hood pieces over two rungs. That was how I blocked it. That's it. Not super profesh. It was more about just getting it washed, getting the soak in, right? It grew. Not just the sleeves, the body also excessively grew. Like I need to take out 10 rows. I need to take out 10 rows so I can find my hands in my own crochet work. They are longer than my palms.
That's impressive.
All I did was hang it. It's not even technically blocking the thing.
I was gonna ask, could you just roll up and like make cuffs or something, but you don't do that. You just shove it up to your elbows anyways.
I shove it up to my elbows, so I need to have it a proper length. So I left it because I wanted to show you guys that sometimes wool grows an excessive amount too. This is the Knit Picks yarn. It's the gray, heathered gray, charcoal gray. It's 100% wool of the Andes worsted in a gray color. It's heathered and it's wonderful. It looks really good. I have no idea what's on it. Oh yeah, that's my stitch marker I put in to tell me how much rows I have to take that many rows out to get to my wrist. That's how much it overgrew.
That's so far.
So
that's amazing.
I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna sew on my hood. And then I can do my edging and give it one more wash just to wash all the other things. Am I going to reblock it? No, it's laying flat to dry, guys. I'm not having it grow again. That's crazy.
We're not doing that again.
We're not doing that again, but it's too hot for me to wear. Ooh. It is, as they say, your turn. Gotta learn to stay away from the chamomile.
Yeah. Yeah, plain. It's probably not getting picked up on the microphone. It's so loud. Okay. My turn to talk about a thing, which means I have to stop knitting on the thing for a hot second. Okay. I will start with the boring thing. I'm still working on the Fossil Frenzy tee. I still have not split for the sleeves. It's still out of some yarn from Fiber Art Studios. I still love it. It's still sparkly. You still can't see it. Everybody's tired of hearing about this. That's all I'm going to say about it. Oh, it has really cute stitch markers from Sleepy Sheep Workshop. They are dinosaurs to match the dinosaur project. Okay, that's the boring one. I thought I would have split both her sleeves by now, but I got distracted with other things this week, so that didn't happen.
Distracted.
I got distracted.
So did I. All right. Well, I'm going to talk about the last cardigan I worked on this week, because then it's on to Shawlville from there. And I feel like that's just a good way to break that up. Start up with 3 cardigans and with 3 shawls. Guys, 6 projects this week. It's a little bit intense. And I was really hoping for 2 of them to be FOs. I just really needed to tell you guys the story. I really needed to tell you the story about the sleeves. You had to see that. You had to see it. Oh, pardon my nose, guys. I did take allergy meds, but I took them late, so here we are. The ever lovely Erin of Fireweed Fiber Co. has got a tweed
I'm awake.
base. Or is getting a tweed base? Is getting a tweed base.
So excited for this tweed base. I've heard amazing things about this tweed base, about how many
So-
sweaters quantities of this tweed base that I'm going to need.
Yeah, you're going to understand in a hot second. So she is bringing it into her main line. And as I understand it, she's letting the cedar worsted line go for now. So oh right, because she fixed the mini for me because it had a little white spot and it bugged her. Didn't bug me, by the way, guys. It bugged her and she saw it, so it went home with her to get fixed. This is how my yard works. My yard isn't even my yard. It moves around when people come over. Oh, my nose is gonna drive me nuts, guys. I'm sorry. It's probably gonna drive you bonkers too. So, when we were talking about, she wanted to use up her. She had dyed the Sock Club colorways, the bird yarns from last year, on Tweety base, on the Tweety DK base, and I really, really liked it. So I got 4 of them. The last one's all wound up in a ball. So you get these beautiful variegated on the tweed, which, I mean, to be honest, doesn't really show the tweed off that well.
Whatever, they are gorgeous.
All Erin yarn is gorgeous. It's one of those ones where she's like, oh, we were talking about potential ideas for next year's sock club. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People who know you are buying it because your colors are that freaking good.
I mean, yeah, whatever she does, I will buy it.
If
But
it's vegetable, if it's vegetable themed, it doesn't matter. We're buying it because it'll be gorgeous colored vegetables. I'm not wrong. You know I'm not wrong.
This is true.
Yeah. But here's the brown. Her chocolate brown.
Ooh.
On the DK base.
I like it. It looks cozy.
Doesn't that look gorgeous?
I mean, all yarn looks cozy, but this looks extra cozy.
Squishy and very, very soft. This is the kind of yarn that Diana will wear next to her skin. I know we can't use my next to skin level as a thing because I will brings a little rustic yarn and be quite happy with that next to my skin, which is not for everybody. This is, yes. This is the kind of yarn.
Yeah.
This is the kind of yarn I expect people to come up and start rubbing their faces on my person. So long as you know me, in which case say hi and that you know me from the internet and it's only mildly creepy and it'll be fine.
Yeah, fair.
So I cast it on because we were at a show on Saturday and I was like, I should work an Erin yarn. I currently don't have really any Erin projects that aren't like full on lap size. And it was 30 degrees outside Celsius.
Yeah.
And I was outside at a farm under the canopy for the show with other people. No. Absolutely
something
not.
small.
Something small. So instead I cast it on for the Cozy Up Knits brioche hug. So I literally have my ribbing, which is like, it was so hot. I got through 5 rows of ribbing, a cast on, and the setup row for the brioche. That's how long it took me because summer brain was in full effect. Like I'd be sitting there drinking my blackberry sparkling water and like a half hour would go by and I'd had done nothing because it was just too hot to process life. You just gave up. You just gave up. It just didn't happen.
You just did like a soft shutdown and
reboot. Like I didn't check. I mean, there was no cell service anyway. Like I didn't look at my phone. We would sit and space out for large intervals of time because it was just too hot to do anything else. My hair was full up top. It was so far up the top of my crown of my head. I got into the car to go home and my head could properly rest on the back of the headrest on the front seat of the car. And my hair touched the roof of the car. That's how on top of the crown we were.
It was an up day.
It was an up day. But you can see from this how this is starting to work and rib up. So this is going to be my main color. So it's going to be the color of my, obviously my ham, and the main color, and then the songbird club colorways are going to be, they're going to fade up as the contrast color for this brioche hug. So I have
That's gonna be gorgeous.
miles to go because brioche knitting is a lot of knitting. It's a lot of knitting. And it's out of some super pretty yarn. And all I want to do is work on this because it's just, and I know the moment it's big enough, I'm going to be arguing with my cat all the time about who's working on it versus who's sleeping on it.
Right.
Yeah. So I know that's going to happen. That's fine. So the brioche hug is a pattern by Cozy Up Knits. I am doing size 2, which is for somebody with like a 30-something inch bust line. The finished bust measurements are 48, which is where I wear my sweaters at, because I do not do oversized sweaters. So when an oversized sweater pattern comes out that I like, I simply pick the size that'll give me the finished bust that I'm comfortable wearing. I did it with the Moonbow cardigan. I've done it with the Simple Hug, which was their first cardigan that they did. I'm doing it with their Brioche Simple Hug cardigan. And since I watched their last update, when their crossover sweater is ready to go, I will also make that one.
Make all the things.
It is a wavy striped tweedy DK weight crossover sweater that is V-necked all the way down to the bottom. So it's like the open sweater you wear with the shirt underneath. Yeah. Yeah, where it connects at the bottom. I got a little bit of ribbing at the bottom. That.
Okay.
I literally own nothing like it, so I do not feel bad about saying that I want to make one of those. Will I make it in different colors? Probably just 2 colors. Possibly 3, probably 2. A main color and a contrast color. But that's my preferences. So. And now we're officially out of cardigan talk. If anybody's wondering, I always use ChowGoo needles. I have successfully replaced all of my needles. It is just ChowGoo sitting up in here. That's it. That's what I use. That's what I love. Red lace cable, all the way. That is my happy place. And I'm going to put a cut in and blow my nose.
Okay. I'm so close to being done. So here's my not really project, mostly a fiber flub. Because obviously I didn't work on my OMAT. I finished that last year, but I wore it last week. And then because it was hot and I was kind of sweating a lot, I washed it.
Yeah.
And then when I picked it up off the drying rack, I noticed that there was a dropped stitch.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I'm mirrored. Hang on. Why is this so difficult? I lost it.
I don't know. You put the stitch marker in so you could find it.
Yes. And now it's gone. Did it fall out? I'm so confused. What? How? Oh, they're on the same side. They're on the same sleeve. Okay. So I noticed that there was a dropped stitch right there in the armpit, and then there's one on the other side. I thought there was one on both sleeves, but no, they're on the same sleeve. So I don't know how I did this one sleeve so incorrectly, but there's 2 dropped stitches that I
way
now
of doing things.
Fix.
Yeah, you need to fix that. What size bust is that for?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I probably didn't, if I'm honest, put it in my project page. I don't know.
Another question for Jocelyn to ask. What bust size are you now?
40, but that does not mean that's what the size is that I made. Let's see if I can find this.
Mind you, you can always
I probably highlighted the sizes that I made.
You know what you can do? Just the next time you've got it on a flat surface, take your measuring tape around it and measure the circumference of the sweater. That'll tell you
I made the size 5, which was for a 35.5 inch.
You would not have made a sweater for a 35.5 inch bust if you have a 40 inch bust. You don't like negative ease around the girls.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you know what? I made the size the designer made because she was the basically identical dimensions to me. And so I just made whatever size she made.
Okay.
And maybe this is a case of like, this is the size of body that this is intended to fit because the garment has negative ease built in. I made this a year ago. I don't remember. Anyway, I made size 5.
Okay.
And then I wore it and washed it and I dropped some stitches. But despite wearing it and washing it, I only dropped like 5 rows down on each stitch. So wool is cool.
That's not bad at all. I say pick those bad boys up, sew a bit, and wear it to the fibre festival.
I'm gonna have to consult what the temperature is gonna be.
Knowing that unless you're within 48 or 24 hours of the temperature, it doesn't mean anything.
Well, just like in general, are we still doing like 30-degree days or are we closer to 20-degree days? Just as a general
rule? Okay, as a general sort of hint, okay, yeah. Yeah, you could look that.
Yes.
Yeah, as like a specific
How short
plan,
of a sleeve do I want?
as a sort
do
of
I want
actual,
absolutely no sleeve or can I do like elbow length sleeve?
as a plan, I feel like that's a bad idea.
It will not be in any sort of specifics, just like in general. Is it still summer or it's starting to look like fall?
That's fair.
That's all I want to know.
I just think it'd be really cool to wear. Also, remember, we're going to be inside a building for the Manitoba Fibre Festival this year, which means it will be cold.
Or hot. It'll be one of the two. It won't be the right temperature.
No.
But which way it is hard to say.
It'll be one of the two for Taylor. I will be 9 times out of 10, I'm comfortable, which means to me, everybody's too cold. If I'm comfortable, everybody else is wearing sweaters. And I'm still in a short sleeve t-shirt. So that tells you how warm I am.
It's impossible to say. But it is upset. Yes, it's one of the contenders.
I'm upset that you can't drop stitches because that always just sucks.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's 2 stitches.
Yeah.
And they're right next to a seam anyway, so like,
well, that won't be too hard.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's just mildly annoying. And also mildly interesting. Yeah. I don't know how that happened.
I never know how dropped stitches happened. It's not true. I know how dropped stitches happened. I'm always quite surprised to find drop stitches in my work. Does that make more sense?
What are you doing here?
Yeah. Let's have a moment of excuse me. I don't recall saying that it was okay for this to occur.
I don't recall inviting you into this project.
Obviously it has, but still, really. Come on. All right. I suppose that's me again.
All right. Yeah, that's my not really a project and kind of a flub.
That's fair. I'm working on a sleeve, man. I want to have the sleeve done.
You have stories. I want to know about your stories.
Always. What, you didn't like the it grew in the wash story?
I mean, I did like the grew in the wash. Yes, that was good. Just flip, 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 flip. Oh wow, that's some serious sleeve going on.
Oh, no. Cast it on a new thing.
Of course. Why finish when you can cast on?
2 new things this week. Oh, Austin's gonna kick my butt. All right, it's very red impeccable, and I mean red.
Yep, that's red.
We are
not going to lose that in the dark.
We are not losing this in the dark. Did I do a gauge swatch? No, it's a shock. I know what fabric I get and what needle size I get, and I knew I wanted it to be ever loving, a lot larger than the pattern called for. The lovely Louise made an asymmetrical one skein wonder shawl called the Orange Crush Shawl. You guys can buy it. It's available on Ravelry. I highly recommend it. It is a wonderful little 4-row repeat pattern. Super cute. You don't have to do it on worsted. You don't have to use multiple balls. You literally can do it on a fingering. and have a nice little small tuck up into your coat shawl. But you can also make it as large as all get out and use as many skeins as you want till you have the size you want, because she gives you the repeat and says do the repeat, and depending on what type of edging you're going to do, she even tells you what row you need to stop on. So if you like to bind off on the wrong side, she tells you what rows to stop on. If you like to bind off on the right side, it tells you what row to stop on, and it tells you which bind off works best in which direction for the finish to look to be the same as the patterns. Kind of nice, hey?
Yeah.
So I am not making a one ball shawl. I would never wear it. I have some like that. I don't even wear the 2 skein shawls I make. They're too small. They're too small. I don't wear them. So I'm starting with the 2 balls of impeccable that I have in the red. We're going to see how far we get. And if I have to, I will stripe in a 3rd color or a 2nd color. And all I'm doing is the wonderful little repeat. And it's a really cute repeat. Like you get these little holes in there.
Yeah, I really like this texture. I want
And
to
it's
pet it
really
through the
nice.
camera.
Yeah, it's a really nice texture. So like I'm really enjoying it. My rows are getting kind of long. I'm on a 6mm needle. And this is going to be massive and chonky and so squishy, and it's going to go great with my winter coat, which happens to be white.
That's gonna be amazing.
It
Like
looks so
giant
good.
blanket scarf. That's gonna be so good.
Giant blanket scarf. And whatever color I end up striping in towards the end, which I'll decide when I get there. I'm not even done my first ball yet. I'm probably down to like my last 50 grams in this one. Maybe a little bit more. More floppy, but we're not that floppy, you know?
See, I'm looking at that like, that DK tweed.
You got some options. I knit you a shawl last year, so you have to make your own this year now.
I actually have so many shawls. I can wear a different shawl every day for probably close to 3 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much. Is that stopping me? Nope.
No, of course not.
Listen, this is going to look good with my white coat. But if we're honest, my exploration station looks better with my cobalt coat, because then you get that varying levels of blue and gray in there. The coffee shop shawl looks sharper with the cobalt blue raincoat than it does with the white winter coat, and it's chocolate brown. It matters, guys. They are not the same. They are not worn in the same patterns. They're not worn the same ways. They do not work for the same coats. When I wear coats.
There's a science to this.
I think there is anyway. But there you go. Now, the real trick is, can I get that done this month? Because that is the challenge knitting for the Fiber Friends this month.
Good
and
question.
I don't know. I don't know. I literally only work on it while I'm making dinner. So like I was making lentil stew tonight, and you've got that downtime after you're done your prep while the food's cooking. So I tend to empty the dishwasher, prep it, and start filling it with the day's dishes, right? But there's always extra time because I cook in lentils and barleys and dried beans. So you always get like that half hour, 40-minute wait. A fast meal for me is an hour, guys. And that's a quick meal. So I sit down and I knit like a repeat or two. And I used to get like 3 or 4 repeats, and now not so much because the repeats are getting a
little bit.
But that's literally in 1 week. And the only time I took it out was when I was learning to play Lord of the Rings, the Warhammer Lord of the Rings, this week. Otherwise, that progress is just during the dinner hour while I'm cooking food. Well, waiting for food to cook, but you know what I mean.
So. While cooking just conjures images of somehow knitting, but also having a third hand to stir the soup.
It does. When in reality, it's me sitting on the coffee table in the living room, right kitty corner from my kitchen, listening to things happening on my stovetop while I knit repeats. Usually with the news in one ear.
Okay. Well, I'll go with the closer thing. I fell down a spinning hole this week.
Good.
YouTube decided to show me videos about spinning. Finally, I don't know why it took it so long to figure out that I wanted to see videos about spinning. But I fell deep into some rabbit holes.
Segue.
And
YouTube's been showing me hand sewing videos, like make garment from hand sewing only.
mm-hmm.
I don't wanna.
Right.
I kind of wanna. Out of my mind. Okay, I'm sorry. I interrupted your spinning.
It's fine.
I show up with a hand sewed outfit, guys. It's all YouTube's fault.
I pulled out my electric eel wheel and I spun some of the Polwarth.
Good.
I think the bobbin's about half full now.
Okay.
And I've learned some things about how to make it go faster and how to not break my yarn as often. Turns out I have been drastically under twisting my yarn, and that's why it falls apart.
That would be a big thing.
Yeah. So this is Polwarth from Cloud9 Fiberworks. I think I probably bought it at the Fiber Festival in like 2019, something like that. Colorway was Prospero, I think. And it's kind of purples and a little bit of burgundy and up into some blues. So I don't know if I'm going to ply this. It might live its life as a single.
Okay. So long as it gets used.
We shall see.
Okay.
Because I don't think I have anything else in my stash that is Polwarth. So it's gonna have to be something all in its own.
No, it doesn't.
Because it's a fairly different texture.
You mix yarn fibers all the time.
Well, this one's sufficiently distinct from everything else that I own that I don't know what I would put it with.
Well, that's easy. Buy more Polwarth to spend. You need to be a purist about it. There's your excuse for some Polwarth.
Whoop. And there goes the other end. Yeah, there's not really a good way to put a progress keeper in this, but like it's
no.
smaller pile. I promise you it's a much smaller pile than it was before.
It's like you're trying to figure out how to put a progress keeper in your spinning fiber.
I promise you it's a smaller pile than before.
Oh, Lord,
anyway, so I'm learning. I'm getting way faster. And this is good.
Good. Practice makes you better.
Spinning thing. The spinning wheel, it's an electric eel wheel 2, I think. I'm pretty sure I backed this in a Kickstarter or something, which is why it has a 3D printer laser cut look to it, which I love. But it's literally the electronics are like elastic banded to the bottom. So this was cheap, which is why I bought it. And it works. So I'm not saying like cheap like it's bad quality. I'm just like it's inexpensive for a reason, but it works.
You kicked it on Backstarter. You backed it on Kickstarter.
Kicked it on Backstarter?
Yep. Words back.
Yeah, they're up to like the eel wheel 4 or 5 now, and they look much more professional.
Yeah.
So,
I know. I keep
eyeballing.
I keep eyeballing those electric eel wheels. I wouldn't want like the mini or the nano or anything. Like I'd want the full-on electric eel wheel beast.
Yeah.
But I like how quiet yours is, and I'm assuming that they've gotten better with their quiet.
Probably
as they've gone.
Yeah.
So
like I'm not spinning while we do this because it would be literally underneath the microphone and there's no way it would not pick that up.
Yeah,
just because of how the desk is arranged, it would have to be like that. But yeah, I watch TV with Mr. Diana and not an issue.
So, it's one of those ones that I'd like to get an electric spinning wheel. It's a thing I'd like to have.
I want to get a traditional spinning wheel, but I don't know what style I want, and I don't know if I want to like try and get an antique one. Bless you. Or bless you. I will buy a spinning wheel eventually. Those are the words that I was trying to say.
Yeah, you gotta figure out what you want.
Because like there's like the ladybug wheels that are like the front treadly ones, and do I want like the 2 treadly one or like a single treadly one? And then there's all this like single drive and double drive and Scotch tension versus other tension. I don't even know.
Guys,
I don't know all the things about spinning wheels.
Welcome to
I know about my one e-spinner. and that's it.
Welcome to the glimpse that is my life when we're at a festival or a knitting thing and she's trying to decide what to buy.
Because I gotta buy the best thing, and then you gotta weigh all the options, and it's bad. It's bad. Analysis paralysis, very, very, very real.
It's a thing for you. It's a serious thing for you. Yeah, and while she's
And
doing that,
now
I'm
I've
buying
got
like 7 or 8 different things, and by the time she's made up her one item, I'm finished. And then she's like, "Oh, well, we should go buy your stuff," and I'm like, "Already done."
now I've got the added variable of how much can I fit in my suitcase. How much will Mr. Diana let me fit in his suitcase?
Yeah. You can always, if you overbuy, leave it here and we can mail it to you. It's not that far, and shipping between
That's
us
also
isn't too
true,
bad.
yeah.
For something like yarn, we'll just vacuum pack it down
That's fair.
and cram it into like a pre-shipped payment box. We can totally do that for you.
I got fiber in my nose now. Okay,
Fibre.
that
Well,
was my thing. I've got one more thing left.
You held up fiber, so I'm not shocked you have fiber in your nose.
I haven't eaten it yet. I've just tried to inhale it.
Okay. I
an
want my
improvement.
nose to stop. I want my nose to stop. Okay. The bag of shell goodies is not done giving up shell goodies. I made a smidge bit more progress on a new shawl design. It is the shawl with no name. I kid you not, that's what the Google Doc is called. Shawl with no name.
We love a shawl with no name.
I'm really bad at naming things. It takes a really long time to get that far, guys. So I'm making a winter squishy garter shawl. For the moment, it's garter because I don't have anything else going on in here yet. And I'm using the Brings of Little I claimed back from the 8-bit sweater that I ripped. And so far, this is how far I got. And when we were podcasting last week, I was somewhere in here. And then I've done a little bit more since then.
I like the stripes.
Yeah. So I'm changing colors literally when I feel like it. I'll be doing different textures literally when I feel like it. And I'm writing it up as I go. So I have no idea when it will be done. I have no idea when I'll need testers, and I have no idea what it's going to be called.
But it'll be done at some point, and it'll be glorious and squishy.
It'll be glorious and squishy, and it may or may not have tassels. Also haven't decided on that yet. So there you go. And this is about the point when people start asking and I start giving out like post-it notes of information and they have regrets later.
So don't ask.
Don't ask.
Don't ask, you don't want the post-it note.
You don't want the post-it note.
Okay.
Now
we could go. Okay. So my other thing is more spinning. And I guess it's finished. I don't know what else to do with it. So I'm going to call it finished for now.
Okay.
So you may remember that the Manitoba Fiber Festival in like 17, 18, early 20 early.
Early 20 early?
I got 20 early. 2010 early. Teen early? I don't know. I got this Jelligan Scottish spindle.
Yep.
Spelled Dealgan because Gaelic. And I also got some pulled sari silk, 15 grams of it.
You still spinning that 15 grams of sari silk you bought in 2017 and then started?
I don't know if it was actually 2017, but yeah. It was definitely no later than 2019. And I think sometime last year I finished this like little cherry of red. Mm-hmm. So as part of the YouTube spinning hole that I fell down, I learned about spinning from the fold. And also I learned that silk needs lots of twist.
Yes, it does.
So after I figured that out, I spun this in about 3 hours, which was another 5 grams. Versus, this is also about 5 grams. It's just wound into a little ball. This took years. This took 3 or 4 hours. Mm-hmm. And then this took about 2 hours, hour and a half.
Yep.
And now I'm done. I finally finished it. I finally finished the 15 grams of silk. Is it consistent? Absolutely not. Like, this is, the red is practically thread, and the yellow and the purple are very obviously thick, thin, arty yarn with slubs and stuff.
Oh,
so I don't know if I want to ply these together or just leave them. I don't really know what to do with these.
Okay.
But they're done.
So for the moment, they'll hang out till you figure out what you want to do.
Basically, yeah. I think they're gonna hang out and do a photo shoot when I have some good light, and yep. So I finished a thing, kind of spinning. Yay! I feel a little bit anime character here, like right here, just like, oh, I've got these like magic gems, and I'm gonna be like, wah.
Oh dear. This is the Sunday evening content everyone tunes in to on Wednesday to see.
Absolutely. This is prime Sunday evening content. So there, I finished spinning a thing. And now I'm looking at all the fiber that you can't see up there, but there's lots of fiber on that top shelf.
I believe it. I've been with you for most of your fiber purchasing years. In fact, I've been with you for all of your fiber purchasing years. I am, in fact, usually buying fiber at the same time you are.
Usually, yeah. So I need to decide what fiber to spin next on my drop spindle.
It's true, you do. You should post a poll when you get down to like the last 3 and let Instagram pick for you.
I think so, because I've got some more silk.
Yeah.
I'm also going to pick, I'm unashamedly going to pick based on what I have the smallest amount with, because drop spindle is slow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, do that. Pick the last, like the final 3 contestants, which is easier for you because, again, analysis paralysis is a legitimate thing that should go in an epitaph on your grave when you finally pass.
I will tell you, I am not spinning the full pound of fleece dyed with copper.
No.
On a drop spindle. That is not happening.
No.
No. Yeah.
But you
I don't know what all I have up there anymore, but
you can commit to a 100-gram
really...
braid. I do 100-gram braids on my drop spindles.
Because I feel like maybe I want to do this. Oh, this is not silk. This is merino tencel. It looked like silk. I thought it was silk. It looks like silk.
Punch the microphone.
So I don't know. I might do this.
Excuse me, I found a end to my yarn. We're just gonna deal with that here real quick.
There'll be choices.
Nothing says
choices shall be posted upon Instagram.
Mostly because I want to vote. I could lie and tell you it's because, you know, Democratic, offer the option to all the people who are listening. Guys, I want to vote. So. I want to vote. So if I vote, I really should make it so you guys can vote too. That seems fair to me.
What is this? I don't even know what this is.
I've lost her.
Polworth silk. I do have more Polworth.
Dude.
Did I buy this?
And if not, we can get you.
Buy this. I don't even know. I don't remember buying this.
It's too far away from the screen for me to see. What color is it?
Sorry. I don't remember where. Oh, that's blown out.
Yeah.
It's blues and grays. Polworth silk. Did I maybe buy this in Vancouver? I don't remember. Anyway.
Possibly.
Oh, I have a pretty purple with stuff. I don't. Anyway, I have been bitten by the spinning bug. I'm spinning. I'm gonna spin things. I want to spin all the things. I'm gonna spin the things.
Take it and run.
Spinning.
Do it up.
Room.
Also, when you run across those really good YouTube rabbit hole videos, can you save them into a spinning playlist so I can go find them and watch them? Thank you.
I have one channel in particular. It's Jillian Eve.
Okay. You know I'm not gonna remember.
Yeah. I'm this is for the benefit for the benefit of the podcast people. It's Jillian Eve. It'll go in the show notes. I'll send you a link later.
Thank you. Not necessary pieces of info. I made a little bit of work on my lace chart, and of course I'm in the middle of a row because of course I'm in the middle of a row. This is shawl progress. Could it be more? Of course it could be more. Is it? No. No, it's not. From last week to this week, I've done some rows. Have I done enough? No, I really needed to be through this lace chart section this week. Did not happen. That's fine. I'll keep working on it. I know the pattern is correct. How do I know the pattern is correct? I've only done it correct half of the time, which is me, not the pattern.
It's your own pattern.
Oh, I know. I wrote the lace. I'm aware. I'm also knitting it in the black sparkly section of this red heart yarn. So every once in a while, my last row of lace holes to make the stars are off by one in one direction or the other because I can't really see the stitches. So even though I know it's correct, until I'm done knitting in black, I'm hooped. But I established it. I've checked it's correct. I know it's correct. So I know that the errors at this point have nothing to do with the pattern and everything to do with what happens between the pattern and the chair, which is me. So that's legit. That's fair. We're moving forward. I also know in the long run, when I'm wearing it, it will not bother me. I know it is not a thing that gets me antsy. I just want to know that it is correct before it goes out to people, because I know for a lot of people, you can actually see the lace work and it would bother you if it was incorrect because it's not right. I'm sort of just, because I don't see it, it's not a thing in my thing. That makes sense. Like if I
more
could
of a
see it,
texture than a visual kind of
yeah,
thing.
it's more of a texture thing for me. I like, that's why I tend to do with the eyelet lace because I can feel it. And I pick I pick garter, like, and I do my lace in garter bumps because it's squishy and I can feel the holes. So I'm in it for the texture, not for the lace patterning specifically, because I can't always see the lace patterning. Or if I do see the lace patterning, say if I'm looking at a pattern on Ravelry or anywhere really, I have to have it blown up as absolutely as max as possible and hope you picked a color of yarn with good stitch definition that I can see and took a photo with strong contrasts. Or I can't even tell when patterns are textured until I've read the pattern. And a really good example is the Mema. I know the Mema is textured because I've seen it in real life, but in photos I can't tell. Yeah. Welcome to Going Blind 101. I don't actually see things. So, slow progress.
Kind of the definition of going blind.
It is a part of the definition of going blind. It's also so because it's black. So like I can only knit so much that my eyes get really, really tired really, really fast. So I know this section is going to be my slog section. And I have to get through it. So I pick it up and work on it as often as my eyeballs allow. I hope to be able to do some work on it maybe on Thursday when I was done my second sleeve instead I ripped my sleeve out. So magic happened.
Yeah, well.
With that, we finally reached the end of. I had a distracted week and worked on a little bit on a lot, and then not on a lot on a little. So I have no FOs. However, it means we're to the good fun stuff where we give out important informations. And I drink tea and try not to laugh at Diane.
It's time for the unscripted Patreon ad. Okay. If for some reason you want to financially support these shenanigans, you may do so at patreon.com/northernknitspodcast. Any level of support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server where we are active at all hours of the day and the night in all of the time zones, pretty much. It's a mosaic of time zones, if you will.
Deserves a golf clap.
Thank you. Encouraging each other to finish things and enabling each other into starting, purchasing, doing all the things that are not finishing the things. We've got
all the time.
On Patreon, there's early access to bonus content. There's blog posts at the higher levels. There's vlogs and After Dark Gaming, where we play something and swear a bunch. And I try to rip Jocelyn's head off occasionally.
Cupid fall flat, guys.
And there's also the words have just fallen out of my brain. Let me reboot. Let me reload that library. Okay, for everybody,
Windows update? Like that's twice
yeah,
tonight.
I think so. Wow. We've got quarterly movie days for everybody. The next one of those is coming up on Saturday, the 27th of August. That's just in like a week and a half as this goes up.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's gonna be Starship Troopers.
I'm
excited.
So excited.
It should be hilarious. So that's just a watch party where we hang out together and watch a movie. That'll be happening at noon Manitoba time on a Saturday, the 27th. That's a 2 there, not the dates are hard. The other thing is at the higher tiers, we do the Patreon knit in monthly knit hangout on Zoom. Words are coming out of my face now.
I swear,
That
guys,
is
it's
coming up.
streamlined. It is the monthly knit in. That's the whole thing.
I just say words until eventually the meaning comes across. Anyway, that's happening this Saturday, the 20th at noon Manitoba time. We just hang out on Zoom for like 3 to 6 hours. I think 3 hours is our shortest and 6 hours is our longest.
We try to. I try to cut us down to like 4 to 5. I try.
So yeah, yeah. Doesn't always work.
I try.
Just keep chatting, 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 chatting some more.
It's knit club is what it is. It's knit club.
We wander away. We find snacks. We come back.
We go for road trips.
Mm-hmm.
Kids pop in and out. Dogs come say hi. It's knit crew. It's knit club is what it is. We just happen to be knit club from Norway through Western Canada. Possibly
it's a good time.
Australia soon. Possibly not. Like I don't know where everybody's coming from these days.
It's cool. I like it. It's a thoroughly international knit club.
Yeah, which is good. All right, as always, we super understand budgets are a real life thing. If you can't financially support us, linking, subscribing, and commenting down below here on YouTube, and following and sharing stuff with us in the socials and the medias is always greatly appreciated. Because then we get to see what you guys are working on, which is delightful. Because heavens knows I like to be enabled into more projects, and I have at least 6 needles without projects on them. So bring it on.
Well, they're cold. You need to cast stuff on.
We need to fix that. So keeping that in mind with the things that are currently going on, we've got a couple of things and places that you can find us in the upcoming days and weeks, if you will. Get the rest out. Blow my nose again. Oh, my face today. So
go fast.
Keeping in mind that there are internet things and there are in real life things. Internet thing wise, I will be doing the mid-month motivation with Louise on her channel Wildflower and Wool this upcoming Thursday, which is for you guys tomorrow. On the YouTube, she says this in hope that Diana will put it into her phone and lurk in the chat while that's going on, because always fun. We're going to be doing a State of the Whip update, which, we understand July was the halfway mark and that was last month. Super did not happen because it completely slipped our minds. So we're going to do it this coming Sunday at noon Manitoba time, which means you can find us here on the YouTube channel this coming Sunday live at noon, and we're going to be talking about the State of the Whip. So the projects that we have worked on and got off our plate, projects that we have ripped and no longer going to exist, things that we're going to frog, stuff that we have, and sort of a readjustment or reevaluation of our goals for the years for knitting projects to downsize the whip collections. As my whips are now currently climbing up the wall, I seem to should be fun, guys. Should be fun. So
it's climbing up the wall here. It's dripping off the thing down here.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And because we're doing it live,
there's a bunch back
I don't have to edit. Diana doesn't have to put links in. It just makes it easier for us to sneak it in for everybody. So we're gonna do that. Oh, my face. When do plants die? In like 3 or 4 months?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
wait.
afraid so.
September, October. Well, they start to die in October, so I really only have like 2.5, 3 months left.
Yeah, but then you've got the dusty furnace air.
I steam heated. We
Ah,
don't
okay.
have
Well,
dusty
yeah,
furnace
then
air.
only a couple more months then.
Only a couple more months. I actually breathe easier in this building because I can open windows for fresh air in the winter, and there's no dust in the air or people outside with their colognes and their perfumes and their stinky whatever they use to scent the air stuff. And steam heat doesn't smell like anything because I clean my steam. Actually, I'm due to clean my radiators now that I think about it. I gotta give them a good cleaning the end of this month so that they're good for the season. So with all that going on in the real lives, we are running a knit along. It's going to run until the middle of September. It is the summer solstice knit along. Diana's worked on her Fossil Frenzy tea, which is her entry for this knit along. She is quickly running out of time. I am still working on the balloon sleeve cardigan, which took over from the summer breeze cardigan. I'm picking up the summer breeze as soon as I'm done the balloon sleeve. So hopefully by the end of the middle of September, I have 2 FOs for that instead of the 1. So we shall see. Here's hoping. And I would knock 2 cardigans off my make 12 sweaters in a year plan. So wish me luck. Also, because I want to dye the summer breeze, dye the summer breeze cardigan, because I'm using the leftover current crate yarn for that as well. I really want to just have one dye day where I dye both of them and it's done. Instead of having to split that up, because that would make it even worse. Because then I gotta set up twice, and that's just sounds annoying. Sounds annoying, so I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So with all of that going on, with all that in real life stuff going on, we're also both going to be at the Manitoba Fibre Festival. So you guys can come and find us there. That is September the 9th, the 10th. Do I have the dates right now, Carmen?
Yes, it is Friday, September the 9th. I looked up the times even. It was like
good
5 p.m. to 9 p.m. on
the
Friday, and
Friday's
Saturday the 10th, it's like 10 to 5 or something.
Yeah, Saturday's the day. So we're going to be there both days for the whole time. As always, please come up and say hi to us if you see us in real life in person. It's not because we don't want to talk to you, but it's because I literally will not see you. I literally will not see you. Come stand right in front of me. I'm the lady with the cane. I'm not terribly difficult to spot and or hear. I'm loud. I'm loud.
Crows are roosting.
Really?
They're so loud. Do you not hear them?
Nope.
Oh. They're so loud I can hear their wings. There's so many of them.
You are going to have fun in this apartment over the course of the weekend, because I live on a street where drunk people walk past in the evenings when they go home from the bar, and I leave the windows open at night.
That's fine. I sleep with earplugs in. I like silence.
Probably a good idea for you, because it's not really quiet where I live.
That's fine.
All right, so I think that's it for in life real person stuff happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. In which case, I get to say until next week. Actually, until Sunday. I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.
Don't forget to knit.
Post those fiber options. I want to vote.